Alrighty guys, we are going to get into a very quick bit of review. This is the third tank that is now being offered by Wargaming as part of the Valkyria Chronicles tanks. This is the Edelweiss. I'm sure I pronounced that wrong, but we're just going to do a quick rundown over the stats and other such on this tank. So getting right into it, first we're going to get a alright amount of hit points at 1150. 90 millimeters of frontal hull armor, 40 at the sides and rear. This tank can get smashed by some of the big derp guns out there, especially if you show your sides and rears. Um, I had a match earlier this week in my T49 where I was able to pen the side of this tank with HE for around 900 damage. The guy got about deleted. So you can't really count on the side of your armor, but you can side scrape a little bit against same tier mediums and lower tier mediums. And the 90 millimeters frontal hull armor, and it's slightly sloped slash rounded. You can pull off some bounces. I would not count on this armor at all. I will try to throw up a couple little bits of pictures showing the armor from one perspective or another, if I find the time to record that. Turret armor, you have 100 millimeters, 40 and 40, so your turret is pretty well angled. Again, I'll try to get you a picture showing a couple different angles of this tank from, let's say, a Comet's viewpoint. Uh, Anyways, going to the maneuverability, you have a weight of 38.02 tons. That is a pretty heavy tank, honestly. Um, it's this is a medial girl. She's very, very good for ramming light tanks, and there's a lot of light tanks at tier 7, especially the 1375, the T60 or Type 62. Uh, you got your Spear Panzer 1Cs, T71, Bulldogs. Uh, with that heavyweight, you get a nice engine power of 935 horsepower, giving you right around 24 horsepower per ton, which is really good actually. So this thing has pretty decent acceleration. You have a 53-kilometer speed limit. Your traverse is very good both on your hull and turret. This tank is equipped with a 90 millimeters. So you have your standard 90 millimeter alpha. It doesn't have great penetration, only 150 millimeters of pen. It does have pretty good APCR pen at 210. High explosive pen is pretty good enough to get through most light tanks at this tier. Your aim time is pretty good at 3.8. Dispersion, again, is pretty good. Rate of fire is 10.33 rounds per minute, giving you a DPM of... Oh, that is the wrong button. Let me get out my calculator here. Right around 2,324, which is actually very good for this tier. It doesn't not quite as good as something like the Comet, but it is still pretty good. You can shoot your way out of a lot of different circumstances with this tank. Again, we've already gone over the armor and everything, so I did surprisingly well with this tank. Um, I'm only going to have one single bit of gameplay for you. It is going to be an Ace Mastery. It was my third match that I played in this tank. Um, just give you a quick look at what my stats are right now. I actually enjoy playing this tank quite a lot. Alright, well, my stats aren't great, but that's because I only have 8 battles. I have really good average damage in this tank, and like, as you can see, Ace Tanker. Uh, it's a good tank. It's not overpowered by any means, but it's not underpowered. It looks kind of odd, but again, it is what it is. So I'll go ahead and throw up that armor pictures right after this. And here we are back. I'm gonna show you guys really quickly just the frontal armor of this tank. The 40 millimeters of side armor really doesn't provide much benefit beyond being able to side scrape against low caliber guns. So right here, first we're gonna show you the front of the tank against a Comet with its 145 millimeters of standard AP pen. Uh, you can see that the little bit of that upper plate is kind of red, but at the same time there's that bar above it, which could act like a shot trap. If you deflect off that upper red bit of the upper plate, it'll probably go into that flat bar. So you can't really count on this tank being able to bounce a ton of shots from the front, but that turret is absolutely awesome with its very well angled cheeks and that big mantlet covering up part of its cupola. It's pretty good. And now you can see what the tank looks like against the Comet's APCR. Those cheeks look like they can be penned, but they can't. It's kind of a 50-50. Most of the red on the upper plate completely disappears, but if you angle it with your gun just inside that right drive wheel, the side is still a pretty decent bounce. Um, your side armor is alright. You're not going to be able to, it's going to be overmatched by all 122 millimeter guns, which a lot of the tanks at this tier do have 122 millimeter guns, so it's alright, but at the same time, it's not anything you guys can count on. Anyways, guys, we're going to get into the gameplay. Like I said, it's an Ace Mastery game, so I'm going to leave you guys into some suspense as to how much the damage I actually do, but that will be coming up right now. Alrighty, guys, we are going to get into the gameplay here. This will be the Edelweiss. I will be slightly bottom tier. There are 2 tier 8s on each team. I am calling Desert, Oasis Palms. Anyways, I'm going to be pushing around. You can see that this tank has pretty decent acceleration. I'm able to get up to 50 kilometers or so pretty easily. I'm going to push around here. This tank does have decent gun depression. It's not great, not horrible. I have a 5.8 second reload because I am using rammer. I find that 150 millimeters of AP pen is perfectly fine for tier 7. Aiming around that corner, and all of a sudden a wild Spear Panzer 1C. I wish I had loaded HE, but he derps the shell, and then a lot of other light tanks, including a couple dangerous autoloaders, pop up around that corner. I do pump an HE shell into the Spear Panzer for 282. I'm just reloading, trying to hold this corner. Put another one in the T-71 who are occupied shooting my LTTB who decided to go there. I bounced one shot, derp an HE shell into the tracks. I do take one. Our ISU takes out their enemy Spear Panzer, pop around the corner, put one into that 1375, take one in return. He's popped off 2, he's tracked. I missed my shell there, I jerked my gun in frustration. Enemy T-26E4 is around the corner, put one into him. They have at least 2 tanks in that cap circle because it is going up pretty quickly. So I do want to get this T-26E4 out of the way. It is 5 versus 4, but they have a lot of health remaining left over, including their top tier heavy tank, the Lupus, which is a dangerous tank in and of itself. I am just trying to pump out as much damage as possible into this guy. Get the tracking shot on him, hoping my IS can do something, but he bounces his shot. Get another fire there, which is pretty nice. Here you can see this tank actually has pretty exceptional. I load HE because I want to get the reset on that. I have no idea how that hit. Somebody had already gotten the reset before me, but now I just kind of pop up to this line. I load APCR because, again, these are some pretty dangerous heavy tanks. This thing's like a laser pointer. I cannot say I'd be able to do this again. I have AP loaded here. I decided to just throw it that way to aim for his cheeks. Did not go there. Leave it loaded, and I smack that missile pod. Just gonna pop up on this ridge line to try getting a little bit more comfortable. I really like keyboard and mouse. I load APCR, hit the rock. You can see very nice expletives there. I'm just trying to find some shots, get a little snipey action in. Pump one, another one to the IS. Their IS-5 is not spotted at this point, so I'm pretty sure he's AFK. And in a second, you will see that the enemy 1375 tells us that he is AFK, so long story short, I do get the ace in this game, but part of that is because of feasting off this AFK IS-5, but still an ace tanker gameplay, so it's perfectly valid. Anyways, one through the side of that IS-5. Magical side armor eats it. Another one, get a fire, and he is just going to burn. Another one into him, so I've done 600 damage, 2 shots. Put another one into him, and LTV finishes him off. So that was a pretty quick game. I did feast a little bit on the IS-5 there at the end, which kind of cheeky. I don't know if you can count this as a real ace. I am, because that's 4k damage, and 4k damage is always nice. I make a nice load of credits, a lot of spare parts, considering this is tier 7. I really like this vehicle. It's nimble, its turret's pretty damn good against same tier mediums. Once you get into that 200 millimeters of penetration area, its turret starts getting a little bit weak, but it is decently strong. So yeah, this tank is pretty versatile, has a pretty good gun, pretty good DPM, pretty good armor. It's all around a pretty decent tank, and it really surprised me. I still would probably take the Nameless, even though the gun handling on that tank is just absolutely horrible. I just like heavy tanks, especially at tier 7. But this tank is not a distant second to the Nameless. So anyways, guys, thank you very much. Hope you guys like this content. Please let me know if you'd like to see anything different. And goodbye for now.